All right, now we're recording. We're going to go over the test. So this first question, actually, by the way, the questions were randomly ordered. So this may not have been your first question, just so you know. And the choices were also randomized as well. And even within certain topics, like for example, my number four, this one's about segment bisecting. I had two different questions and it was randomized. So you could have got either that first one or that second one. And I do this just to mitigate. I mean, not that I don't trust you guys, but I do have to make sure I'm respecting the academic integrity of assessments. So I do have to randomize this stuff. Anyway, this first question here, it asks you to give two other names for line AB, and it's multiple choice. So let me actually pull up the choices. Actually, let me go preview. That's gonna be better. Let's do that. There we go. That's much better. This is already randomized, obviously. So, okay, so I'm just gonna do this question right now. We're gonna go in order. So here's asking for the midpoint, right? And these are the endpoints. So all you have to do is average the x's and average the y's. That's all you gotta do. So it's gonna be -4/2, comma 6/2. Ben just joined us. So you wind up getting -2, comma 3. And that's why the answer is this choice right here. And again, the choices were randomized as well. So that might not have been A3, might have been a different letter. But Schoology knows how to correct. And that's why I still go into your tests and I still will look and see, make sure there's no glitches. And I also just, Ben, just so you know, we just got started, so you didn't miss much. We're going over the test right now. And also just let you know, Ben, we're only gonna do a short call. I won't be able to do a follow-up at 12 o'clock today because we have to get to the airport a little earlier. So it's gonna be a really easygoing day. I'm gonna tell you guys what you're gonna do before I sign off the call that you guys do on your own today. And then we'll sign off the call in about 25, 30 minutes from now. Anyway, question one, endpoints are right here. Find the midpoint, pretty easy, right? So -2, comma 3. And this one, I did ask you to show your work. So you'd have to show this to me for you to get the full credit. So that's why I have to go in manually and kind of see how you did this. Question two, also you have to show your work. You're told two angles are supplementary. So it means you have to add the 180. So if you have 67, 67 plus angle 2 has to add to 180. Angle 2 total is going to be 113. Pretty easy, right? Now it's worth 2 points. So just show me the equation, show me the answer. That's why I made it 2 points. Here, I made this worth 2 points also. If I undo my work. 1 point for the setup, 1 point for the answer. So when I make my rubric, when I make my point values, I don't do it randomly. I actually do kind of sit back and think through, like, where would I assign the points? A lot of teachers, believe it or not, don't know about Christian Brothers, so I can't speak for the math teachers there, but a lot of public schools down in the Bay Area where I work, public schools mainly because they have so many students, they just make every question worth 3 points. Like a 10-step question is worth 3 points, a 1-step question is worth 3 points. I like to call it laziness. So I actually put in the time. Writing a test takes me an incredibly long time to do. English teachers, they always complain, or history teachers, like grading papers. And I would agree, grading papers takes forever to do. Grading math tests is actually pretty easy for me to do. I just have to just find the time to do it. And I do get them done, just I'm on vacation, obviously, but I will get them done today. But writing a test for a math teacher, I think is much harder than writing a test for English or history. Like in history, it's like, hey, tell me what happened in this battle in the Civil War. It takes like 5 seconds to write the question. Or in English, like, hey, tell me what happened in in the Great Gatsby or something like that, or Of Mice and Men or something, whatever book you're reading. Maybe you want to talk about a certain interaction between two characters. Those are easy questions, all right? Harder to grade. Opposite for math teachers. So I do carefully think about my rubric, just so you know. So this is 2 points also. Here he asked, can we assume that to be true? I did kind of scan through some of you guys' answers, and some of you guys had a hard time with this one. The answer is yes. Many of you guys said no. Well, here's the deal. There's the F, right? There's the H. They are going to be perpendicular because EF is perpendicular to plane S. And because DH is in plane S. Okay, my apologies. Looks like the Wi-Fi here cut out. I'm using my hotspot just to be on the safe side. So my apologies, I got cut out. Let me go back to share my screen. It looks like the recording is still happening, which is good. So got a little nervous there. Okay, so again, let me, and I obviously it's not gonna undo my work. So I have to redo this again. So here's EF, here's DH. So the answer is yes. And here's the reason. EF is perpendicular, line EF is perpendicular to plane S. And it's right when I got cut off. Line DH is on plane S. So naturally those are going to be perpendicular. And if we do look at our notes, I have to locate, I think it might have been chapter 2, it might be one of the postulates. Maybe 2.7 or maybe 2.6. Maybe 2.5. We'll hit it eventually. Maybe 2.4. There we go. Fourth time's a charm. It says here that yeah, if 2 points lie in a plane, then the line containing them lies in the plane. That's for sure. Nothing about perpendicular, but obviously if you're perpendicular to the plane, you're gonna be perpendicular to that line as well. So that's the reason why. All right, let's go back to the test again. Number 4, to solve an equation, but you have to state the reasons or match them up. So you're distributing the 5 first. So that's gonna be distributive property right there. And then it looks like you're subtracting 4x from both sides. Subtraction property, there's B. And of course, adding the 15, that's C. So that looks like that went in order, but it was probably randomized for you guys. So that's pretty easy. I don't think that should be a problem. Matching these up, soccer players are athletes. So you could say, if you're a soccer player, then you're an athlete. That'd be the if-then form. And then if you reverse it, that would be the converse. And then if you just negate, that would be the inverse. And then if you do the contrapositive, it would be C. So that's A. You could say this is, let me use a different letter. Say this is statement P and statement Q. So P leads to Q. So the converse would be Q leads to P. The inverse is negative P leads to negative Q. And the contrapositive is negative Q leads to negative P. Now, if you put your if-then statement as this, if you said, if you're an athlete, then you're a soccer player. Obviously, it's not true because you could be other sports. But if you did that, then you're a soccer player. Then what's probably going to happen is you're probably going to have missed all the points. I will look back and make sure everything else looks okay based upon what you probably assumed was the if-then statement. And I'll probably give you maybe at least 2 more points back. Let me just see how the test goes for everybody else, see if other people made that kind of mistake. Because you might have been confused and maybe you wrote the if-then statements, if you're an athlete, then you're a soccer player. Not really true though, right? I mean, if you're a soccer player, you're an athlete, that would be true. But it's okay. I'll go back and give some points back if you happen to botch that. Here, vertical angles, just angles are opposite of each other. 1 and 4 for sure, because they have to be part of 2 lines. So it's that one. Number 7, you're asked to find the distance, the length. So you can do Pythagorean theorem, plot the points. Here's 3, here's -8. Boom, you got a dot. Here's 1, 2. Boom, got no dot. Connect these bad boys. Do Pythagorean theorem. Looks like you're going 10 down, which makes sense from 2 to -8. And you're going 2 right. 10 squared plus 2 squared is 104. You got to root it. It's about 10 point something. It'd be B for that one. And you had to show your work. So this is worth 3 points, mainly because it's a little more involved in the distance formula. Sorry, than the midpoint formula. You would have to, if you show me a diagram that's worth a point, show me the calculation worth another point, and there you go. If you didn't do it that way, if you used the actual formula itself, that's fine too. But setting it up would be worth 1 point, and then actually going through the process would be worth, the calculation another point, and then the final answer worth another point. That's why I made that worth 3 points. This one should have been a toll, just slow pitch down the middle, really easy. 32, you're multiplying by 2. That's all. So that should be pretty easy. Here, endpoint not coplanar with ACT. Well, ACT are right there. B is not on that plane. There you go. Pretty easy. Find YZ. Now you may have had a different one because I think this was randomized. If you're told that these are the same with the markings, that's also 16. That's all. That's it. Here you ask.
Wait, I have a question.
Go ahead.
So I thought that it was X to that middle point was 16. So then that middle point to Y. So wouldn't the X to Y be 32?
Oh, shoot. That's what you thought? Okay. Thank you for telling me that.
I did the same thing.
Okay. Interesting. I might have to give you that point back because I probably didn't spend enough time talking about markings. Okay, that's interesting. Thank you for sharing that with me. This is why we talk about this. I always go over a test the day after. Yeah, that marking just means they're the same. That's what it means. That XY is the same as YZ. I think I made that. We've talked more about that, I think, more lately. But yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you for letting me know that. Yeah, so actually 16 is XY. So I'll take a look at that because it's not like you randomly guess that number, obviously. So yeah, I'll look at it. Don't worry. I'll if I see that, I'll give you the point back. Don't worry. You'll get the point back. But I'll see if other people made that same mistake. Thank you for sharing that. Number 11. Let's see here. Angle 1 equals angle 2, angle 2 equals angle 3. So that's transitive, so that's B. Then if you just reverse them, that's symmetric. That's C. And then if you just say it equals itself, that's reflexive. And you can just use your notes for that. That's really easy. Here you have to show your work. It's worth 4 points, a big one. So you're told the whole thing equals 85. So 9x minus 6 plus 5x plus 7 equals 85. Doing that step is worth 1 point. Then you got to do work through the algebra. That'll be 7. Then you have to find MPQ. That'll be 57, I think. I think so. So that would be worth a point. This process here would be worth a point. Solving for x would be worth a point. And getting the right angle would be worth a point. So that's how I would divide the points up. That's why it's a 4-point problem. Question 13. You don't have to show work for this one, but maybe worth 2 points because you had to think a little hard for this one. That's 74. These have to add up to 180. So therefore, that has to be 106. That's why it's D. Vivian, go. You have a question.
Could you go back to the previous problem?
Number 12, sure, yeah. Let me undo everything first. All right, and let me scroll up. So it's lined up here. Okay. Let's see. There we go. Yeah, what's your question? Or you just want to copy it?
No, it's not that. I did 84 divided by 14 and I got 6 and not 7.
Oh, it is 6. I can't do arithmetic. Thank you for correcting me. That 98 would be 14 times 7. Oh my goodness. Good. Thank you for correcting me, Vivian. I will remember that. So if you're ever on the border, I'll help. I'll help everybody else who's on the border. But thank you. I very appreciate that. Yeah, so then that would be 48, right? Yeah. I think so. This is why I use a calculator, right? Yeah, you're right. Thank you. My apologies. 14. Name 3 points that are collinear. See, it's just process of elimination, right? AC, there you go. FDE, no way. AED, no way. DEC, no way. Gotta be AEC. That's an easy 1 point. So seriously, solving equations. Want to make sure you guys can solve equations. Linear equations. 8x equals 32. X is 4. So you get that as an answer. Now, interestingly, I did see one person when they put in the blank, they put x equals 4, and school just scored as incorrect. Obviously, you got it right. All you had to do is just type in 4. But if you typed in x equals 4, it's going to score as incorrect. Clearly, you got it right, and your work is going to confirm it. So I'll give you those 2 points back. This is why I don't lecture on the grades right away, because it's those kind of things that Schoology is not smart enough to figure out. They don't use advanced artificial intelligence. Obviously, myself as a human being, I have to go and look and give you those points back. So, but it's just 4. That's pretty easy. This one here, if the sum of 2 numbers is negative, then 2 numbers must both be negative. Well, okay. So if I take 2 numbers, like say -2 plus -3, of course that's negative, right? But what if I did 10 plus -15? That's still negative, right? So that's your counterexample. You only need 1 negative number, not 2. That's a counterexample. 17. This one here, give 2 identities for line AB, line F, right? You see an F right there, or line BA, just reverse the letters. There were 2 choices that worked. So there you go. Very easy. 18, what property is being demonstrated here? Since you're just simply reversing these 2, that's just symmetric. Not transitive. That's if you have like 3 things, you have 3 letters, like A equals B, B equals C, and A equals C, right? Reflexive, E equals itself. Distributive means you're like, distributing a number into a parentheses. We don't have that, obviously. So don't mix them up. Here, all angles are the same. All sides are the same by the markings. Hopefully now you know what those markings mean. If you didn't know that, and you just said equal angular, I'll give you the point back. But clearly it is a pentagon. So you write pentagon. And you have to say pentagon because I am looking for that. And then this one here, that's regular, when all sides and all angles are the same. 20, show your work, pretty easy. These are equal to each other. They're vertical angles. So then this would be 22 on this side and 2x on this side. X is 11. Again, if you typed in x equals 11, I'll still give you the point. Don't worry about it. That's 11. And I made this worth 3 points because 1 point for establishing a relationship, 1 point for going through the algebra, 1 point for, excuse me, 1 point for the answer. 21, also easy. Perimeter at all the sides. It is a square. All sides are 8.4. So you do 4 times 8.4 or add 8.4 4 times. You should get 33.6, I believe. Don't worry about units because they're already there. If you wrote in the units, it was scored incorrect. I'll give it to you. Don't worry. Area is just 8.4 times 8.4. You just have to round to 2 decimal places. Use my cell phone here. 70.56. Actually, you didn't even have to round. It's just that's what it was. 22. If they're complementary, they add to one. add to 90. So that's what you do. So, and you have to state the measures of each angle as well. So then you get 5x plus 5 equals 90. 5x equals 85. I'm pretty sure I'm doing this correct. I think it's 17. And then you got to punch in 17 each of these here. That'll be 29. And I think that will be 61. So definitely a point for setting it up. Definitely a point for getting x. Definitely a point for going through the algebra. And definitely a point combined for saying that correctly. That's why I made it worth 4 points. Transitive. You want to illustrate it? So it's just AB equals CD. Easy peasy. Right there. And last one. Find the pattern. That shouldn't be too hard. Obviously, the left triangle, the right triangle, the bottom triangle are all shaded. So the last one that's not shaded is a top triangle. So you get C. That's just 1 point. So hopefully that went fine. I'll be viewing everyone's responses later today. Give us some feedback by email. And then if you have questions on Monday or over the weekend, you want to shoot me an email, that's fine. I will allow everyone to do corrections if they so desire, and I will return half the points you missed. So if you got a 60%, you do a good job of the corrections, and you sound intelligible, you know what you're talking about, I'll give you 20 points back. Or if you got 90%, you want 5 points back, I'll give you that too. So I'm making this available for everybody, and you get half the points you missed. So, because I don't want, like, you know, if you got 60% and tests worth so much of your grade, and then you keep getting 60% and you fail the class. We don't want that to happen, right? We want you guys to pass. We want you guys to learn. Think of tests as a learning opportunity. Don't think of it as some intimidating thing like, oh my God, I get so nervous. Yeah, yes, we'll feel a little nervous. I decided to go back to get another degree a few years ago, and I was getting worked up and nervous over tests myself as a 40, you know, in my 40s. So I understand how these can be nerve-wracking, but I also want you guys to see it as a learning opportunity that, okay, fine, I didn't quite get something. How do I learn from my mistakes, right? You don't get better if you don't learn from your mistakes. So I have to give you opportunities to get some points back, right? And the grade is just a byproduct of your learning. So the grade's not the end all be all, but yes, I want you guys to pass and move forward with your math learning, right? You know, I don't want you guys to, you know, like take this class, spend 6 weeks and then get nothing out of it, right? No, everyone's gonna pass. So I'm gonna make sure you guys pass. And if you're not passing at the end, I'm gonna make sure we do something to get you to pass, don't worry. But yeah, I'll give you guys an opportunity. I'll take a look. Hopefully all the grades were solid, but if some of you guys struggled, don't worry, we'll figure it out. So that's the test right there. This has all been recorded. What's gonna be the plan for today? What are you guys gonna work on this morning? So let's go. So one's calling about like 3 or 4 minutes. Yes, we'll leave the sites. So really simple, just go to homework number 5. It's right here. Just like we've done the previous few days. Go to homework number 5, click on it. And I made these early this morning. I was at a Starbucks, so I didn't wake up my family. They usually get up around 7-ish these days. So you're gonna have a 3.1 video, watch it, take notes, answer Google form. 3.2 video, watch it, take notes, answer Google form. 3.3 video, watch it, take notes, answer the Google form. And I actually work out all the problems for 3.1, 3.2, and 3.3. So you don't have to do any extra problems on your own. So a lot of it's a little bit passive where you're just taking notes and well, there's 3.1. No, so that's 3.2, there's 3.1, and there's 3.3. Each one's about 2 minutes long. Sorry, each one's 2 pages long. The videos are a little longer than that. Actually, let me go to my playlist. The links are there directly. If you just click on the playlist, that's in Schoology under video lessons. Yeah, if you click on semester 1. Come on. Yeah, yeah, YouTube plays first half summer geometry, right? There you go. Anyway, but you can see the videos, they're not too bad. The first one's about 20 minutes, then under 10 minutes, so about 40 minutes of video watching. The Google Forms are right here. Put your name, tell me what it's about, what you found easy or difficult. And then I put a question that's in regards to the lesson that you watched. This one's a little more open-ended. It's asking you to describe some terms in your own words. This one here, you actually have to work out something. This one right here is like just trying to be hypothetical, somewhat open-ended about parallel lines. So everything's about parallel lines, these 3 topics here. So you'll go through it. Shouldn't be too bad. If you get all that done, and I'm guessing the video watching and Google Forms might take about an hour to do. So maybe if you take a little break right now, once we finish this call, around 10 o'clock, by 11 o'clock, get all that done. Then there's gonna be a worksheet for you to do as well. And if I go back to homework number 5, which is right here. Yeah, could be all questions for worksheet that was homework number 5. And let me show you how homework number 5 looks. It's actually a pretty lengthy document. It's 3 pages. And it covers everything that will be in the video lessons. And you'll upload it to school just like you've done for the previous homeworks. And it's asking you to talk about postulated theorem. It's true here. All the odds are shown, by the way. It's asking you to solve some stuff, some algebra going on here. And actually, the 3rd page is not that bad, it's just the answer. So it's actually not too bad. I'm guessing this might take about 15, 20 minutes to do, maybe less, I don't know. Maybe a little more. But yeah, if you were to take a little break right now, start around 10 o'clock, you can get all done by 11:30, and then you're done for the rest of the day. Or if you want to start this around 11 o'clock, get done by 12:30. This is not due till 9 o'clock next Monday. So if you want to wait till like early Monday morning or Sunday night to do it, have at it. And again, this has been an unusual week because I had this pre-planned vacation for agreeing to do this class. So we did remote the whole week. We did some asynchronous stuff, but starting next week, we'll go back to our agreed upon schedule: Monday, Wednesday, Friday, remote, Tuesday, Thursday in person in room 701. I can't remember the room. I think so. You know what room we're in. I know how to get there. I don't remember the room number, but you know, go to that room. Actually, what is our room number? I've only been there once. Well, twice when I before school started. What is our room number? Let's see, miscellaneous, syllabus, 707. There we go. Sean, you have a question? Go ahead.
I just was going to tell you to remember.
Oh, thanks. All right, got it. All right, appreciate it. Yeah, but anyway, Tuesday, Thursday will be in person, and when we do our Zoom classes, I'll kind of, I'll kind of leave it up to you to see what you guys are comfortable with. I'd like to be a little bit more present instead of just like a half hour, then you do some stuff for 2.5 hours, maybe, for an hour at the end. I do want to be a little more because stuff is going to get more challenging. But I still might mix in some video stuff because I do think we should mix up a little bit, not just you guys sitting on a Zoom call the whole time. I want to give you guys also breaks too. But I'm going to think through how I'm going to do the Zoom calls next week. My guess is we'll do I'll do some like homework review and some lessons from like 9 to 10 o'clock. Maybe give you guys a break. Maybe do some group work and breakout sessions like we did the Friday of last week. And then maybe do another break, maybe have you guys watch a video, do another break, then maybe do some more group. I don't know. I'm going to think it through, but I'm not going to have it like this because it should be a little more present for you guys. Just this has been an unusual week, but it's easy stuff. The tests look pretty good. Looks like you guys are getting it. That's awesome. But stuff is going to get more complex down the road. I need to be more present for you guys, right? So that's what's going to happen. Anyway, so you know what you got to do. You got to do homework 5. Submit the Google Forms. I will look for that. Of course, you get full credits. Just turn it in. It's due by 9 o'clock on Monday, as you see right here. But you get it all done, then you have nothing else to do for the weekend for this class. You can use the weekend for other stuff, right? I gather it's still pretty hot in Sacramento. I'm going to find that out when I get off the plane later today. But enjoy your weekend. Okay, we'll end the call. Yeah, I'll have feedback about your tests ready by later tonight. And we'll have them all graded, and you guys can do corrections if you so desire, and I'll make those corrections due next Friday. And we do have another test next Thursday, just so you know. So we'll cover the second half of chapter 3 on Monday. We'll cover chapter 4 on Tuesday, Wednesday, and do another test on Thursday. By that time, we'll be a third of the way done with the class. Right now, we're about 20% done, I'd say. 15 to 20% done with the class. So we've done a lot so far. I feel like we just got started, but that's summer school, right? Okay, let me stop the recording.